Now, do you remember that the girls at the concession stand said the most often requested picture was Pat Echlin's? Well, we caught up with him between turns 1 and 2 right after qualifying.
Joe DeMarco, do you know who we have here?
We have Pat Echlin.
And who's Pat Echlin?
He's the champion race car driver.
Well, not just a champion race car driver. Allison, tell her how you know Pat Echlin.
Well, I've met him here before.
I mean, it's what he did last time when we were here.
Yeah, last time he had got into a real bad accident the night before, did not know if his car was going to be ready to race, pulled it in right before he had to, and won the race. It was amazing.
Not just that, set a track record in qualifying. Pulled off the trailer, set a track record. Christine, you remember all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I understand, Kimmy, that they've run 30 races this year, and he has won 23 features.
Very impressive.
Very, very impressive. And this time, we've got his car out here. Let's go down and meet him. First of all, Pat Echlin, our audience has met you once before, but welcome once again to Motorsports Unlimited.
Thank you. It's nice that you came out to see us again.
Yeah, and I wanted to see you with your car here because the last time we did the interview with you, you didn't have a car.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had crashed the night before, and the fellows still had it at the garage trying to fix it.
And apparently worked out really well.
Yeah, we ended up winning that night.
Okay, what am I standing in front of here? This is the kind of thing guys would kill for.
This is the season championship trophy.
Okay, in other words, even though this night tonight when we're here taping, this is the season championship for the late models, as far as the season points total, you've got it sewed up.
Right, an overall championship points-wise.
Okay, anybody you want to thank?
Oh, obviously the crew and Ray Wableski, the car owner. Ray asked me a couple of years ago to drive, and I was flattered and, of course, accepted the offer, and now we've won 2 championships in a row.
Well, I would say that's really saying something. Any big ambitions, anything from here?
Oh, obviously, everybody that drives a race car would like to, hit the ARCA circuit or ASA or even NASCAR circuit. But, it's you get out of these cars what you put into them. And I myself run a small business, and I'm pretty busy Monday through Friday.
Well, this is certainly the guy that does have the talent, though. There's absolutely no question about that. Literally all the pit areas buzz about Pat Echlin and what he's accomplished and all that thing. And I don't want to pull anything out of you that you don't want to tell, but what we like to do on our program is to try to help everybody understand what you guys do out here. Are you willing to share a little bit of setup?
Well, Ray and the fellows have always prepared a car well. You have to finish the win.
That's for sure, but what I want to know is, can you give us an idea of at Raceway Park, for a guy that's going to aspire to Raceway Park, and I'm sure we've got some hobby stock guys out there right now that are watching this thing that would like to know really how a guy like Pat Echlin does it, how much stagger?
Oh, well, the stagger-wise, we run around 3 inches in the rear and around 1 inch in the front.
Okay, do you run left front heavy or right front heavy?
No, the left side is always heavier.
Okay, a couple 100 pounds?
Yes.
You know, I find it very interesting. We did it. I'm sure you know Dave Weltmeyer. Anybody that raced at Raceway Park sure knows the great Dave Weltmeyer, correct?
Oh, I've learned a lot from Dave. We've taught each other a lot of times. We've raced against each other on this very same racetrack.
Right, and we've gone back and forth on this thing. And to me, every race car has got to be set up left front heavy. And yet, Dave says that they're setting up either neutral or right front heavy when they're running these bigger tracks. I don't get it, do you?
Well, it may have something to do with this place. It's almost a constant circle here. You're constantly in a turn, and that's why I think we keep a little bit more left side here.
Yeah, it always makes more sense to me. Quite frankly, one of these days we're going to have to do a whole tech show on this business of these guys. And by the way, Bill Venturini also, right front heavy.
Well, as I say, they run a lot bigger tracks than we do, and I really believe it's just because we don't have much of a straightaway here. We're constantly in a circle.
Okay, so a young guy coming out here that's maybe working on building himself a late model for the first time. The great Pat Echlin is saying you ought to come out with about 3 inches of rear stagger, 1 inch of front stagger, about 200 pounds left front heavy, and you might have it fairly close.
Oh, the left rear, yeah, the left rear is obviously has to be heavier too. I would say the left rear is probably the heaviest part of the car.
Oh, really? You run it that heavy?
Yeah.
Are you allowed that much to get that much left side weight?
Yeah, the rules I believe are 58% left side weight total. 58% of the total weight of the car can be on the left side.
See what's going on down there? Okay.
Question.
Yeah, question. Christine, go ahead.
Pat, I'd like to know, how long have you been racing at Raceway Park?
Good question, Chris.
This is my 21st season.
Wow, you seem like a young guy. I'm shocked. That's amazing. Have you won track champions before?
Yeah, 84, 91, and now this year.
So this is your third track championship.
Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations. Yes, another one, Chris.
Was this all in a late model?
Ah, good question.
All 3 championships were in late model, yes.
Okay, did you always run late models, or did you start with some other stuff?
No, no. I started along with David Waldmeyer and a few other guys that are running elsewhere in the six-cylinder division here.
Okay, real quick now, because we're running out of time and I want to get some shots of you guys in action. If you were advising a youngster getting started, there is an argument, I don't want to say an argument, but there is some discussion whether a person should go right to a late model, even though you're not going to beat anybody for the first few years, you'll just be flopping around in what you're going to end up in. Or do you think it's a better idea to start maybe with a hobby stock, go to a street stock, then go, you know what I'm saying? What do you think?
I really believe you should probably start in a lower class than the late models. Whether it's a street stock or a sportsman car, doesn't really matter, but it gives you a little bit more experience of consistency and running the same lap every lap, and it's a little bit easier to, I think it's a little bit easier to concentrate on what you're doing with one of those cars than it would be with one of these.
I certainly agree with you. I think it's a good idea to work your way up, because when you're hanging on for dear life, you're not really learning anything.
Well, that's I say. If you're running at the rear of the pack with one of these cars, you're not really learning anything from anybody else. If you run in the middle of the pack or towards the front, even with one of the lesser cars, then you can learn from the other fellows too.
Okay, well listen, I don't want to hold you any longer because I know you got business to do tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the great Pat Echlin. He is the 1992 Raceway Park track champion. We want to congratulate you. I hope you have a good night tonight, even though you don't need it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
We're looking for one.
We're looking for one anyway. Girls, everybody together.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.